Families are like garlic mayonnaise. This is a how-to. I hear they're quite popular. Get your mayonnaise. Doesn't matter what type. Get a bulb of garlic. A bulb, I tell you. Mince the garlic. Press the garlic. And put it directly into the mayonnaise. No, you don't want to cook it. Keep all the goodness inside. Then you get 1 lemon. You juice that lemon. You put the juice of the lemon in with the garlic. You stir it all up. It'll be strong. It'll be nice. And then you're going to play with the elements. So if you put too little garlic, you won't really get the right flavour. So if the elements of your mayonnaise, your family, if you will, are wrong, then you will get slightly less richness out of it. Contrary-wise, if there's too much sharpness, too much lemon juice, then your mayonnaise will go runny and it will be a nuisance. You'll have to stir it and stir it and stir it, and then you'll have to cool it down. These are all metaphors. Read into them. Before it can actually get to the right consistency. So quantity, quality, consistency within families makes for a good garlic mayonnaise. And the proof is in the tasting.
Oh, wow. Well, that's an intro now. I'm glad you exist. If I can.
So can you. That might be treasure. Family. In all of its different manifestations. Some good, some bad. The types of family, what counts as a legitimate family, and how this ties into finding your tribe. So let's immediately go into legitimately, because I think that's going to be the word that is going to set people off going, oh yeah, what's a family then? You got an opinion? Am I going to gatekeep your family? No. No, I'm not actually. I'm going to say, I believe that family can take the form of living things. And that extends to animals and plants. Because it's not anyone's place to gatekeep what a family is. It's about the love and the connection that you have with the things, people around you. Reflecting those energies of wonderment. And I think plants are really valid for that conversation. I think animals are too. Because animals can really lift you up. I mean, that's why we have emotional support animals. Beautiful creatures that we can bond with. And you pour love into an animal and the love gets poured back. And not in the same way, but in a way that's very understandable. As I'm sure any pet owner can say. It comes back in small ways. And each animal has their own love language. And that's true of people and plants as well. Although it's very black and white with plants. I'm happy, I'm growing. I'm sad, I'm dead. So I want to get onto this topic of family. And it can be a sensitive issue. And we have to realise that within the diamond of truth, it's many faces. That there are good families, bad families, and the grey bit that just makes most families. And we're broad speaking about this. So let's get into it. Firstly, define the box of families. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to go for my first topic will be work families. I have experienced within work some people getting on amazingly and they call themselves a family. That's good for them because I've had it where I have been in work and work has labelled itself as a family and then asked for that extra 10% after you've given your 100 and have used it to manipulate. And that's not family. And I think that you have to be very careful, incredibly careful, when people use the terms of family around you. Like, oh, I see you as an uncle, or I see you as a father figure, or I see you as this. Because then that's somebody asking you to give them something that they perceive they need in a way that is not terribly clear. which can cause all sorts of expectations, which is a pitfall of families, I believe, to have expectations on the way people should be, how they should grow, and what they should do in their lives. I don't like it when folk are told from birth that you will be this. You're going to be an engineer when you grow up. I'm going to
follow my footsteps.
Indeed, follow in my footsteps, do my skill set. You know, there are some times where that works. Honestly, you get people who are like, I really respect my parent because they did such amazing things and I want to follow in their footsteps. They're a trailblazer and I want that. There are other times it doesn't, because you're going against the nature of the person that you have brought into the world, which is awful, you know? If you're trying to give a butterfly a rhino's job, there's going to be some major issues there. Major. So it's about making sure that you choose the relationships that you have with other people. And to make another edge to this box, chosen family. Chosen family is a wonderful thing. I have enjoyed chosen family. I still do. Where I have been through enough with a group of people where I have had the pleasure of looking after cats, who even thinking about them and where they are now can be something that makes me incredibly upset or makes me wonderfully happy. There's also such a wonderful thing in finding people who are like you, or those who understand what you're going through, or can reflect that positivity you put into the world. That I find is absolute gold dust. If you can find somebody who will reflect the love, the energy, the wonder, the creativity, and the marvelousness that you put into that world back at you, that doubles it. That doubles it. And that's marvelous. Because if you're amazing and somebody comes along and makes you more amazing, then all you get is a pile of amazing and nothing will stop you.
It's the idea of chosen family that I've recently grown to understand of how important it is. I've spent probably the vast majority of my 20s thinking I don't need anyone and I'm better off on my own anyways. I'm not proud of it, but I certainly treated people accordingly. And I learned from that. I regret it today and wish I could have been different and wish I would have been better, would have known. But, you know, the past is the past, can't change it, can only learn from it.
Yes, and I want to do two things. One, I want to affirm that, yeah, if you can't change it, don't worry about it. You know? And also, you've learned from those lessons, because here we are, making a podcast out of sun and rainbows and joy and love. Yeah, you're learning from those lessons, which is brilliant, because that's what growth looks like. But also, when you went, I spent my life not wanting anyone or thinking that I could do this on my own. I went, which is actually, from where I've come from, I was given the need to be in a relationship. It was taught to me. The need to breed. Broody is something that I've gone through. And that's a really, like, you know, for someone like me, broody was installed in my core from what my parents taught me. It took so much to break that kind of programming or find alternatives. And I found alternatives. I just found that I was actually had that energy for being a parent for people around me, from just teaching them, caring for them, for people of younger and older ages, of just, you know, being there and just being supportive and thinking, wow, you could really do with somebody to encourage you, like a parent would, who would just be there in a non-threatening way to comfort you, like a parent would. And we can take those behaviours that we found nice, if we found them at all in childhood, and recycle them and use them as adults and, you know, explore their true potential of helping people.
More recently, having more of a chosen family now, a support network, actually understanding the value of it today is like, could have done with some of that a little bit sooner. But hey, here we are today, right?
Indeed, here we are today. But it's about finding the people the people who help you resonate, your tribe, your people. If it leads you to a place where you can grow, because I think one of the key factors of family is that you grow in it. We can all learn from plants there. If the conditions are right, then you will grow. If they are wrong, you will not. And if they're really bad, you will wilt. Mm-hmm. Which is something that we will pick up another time on how to remove toxic people from your life. So if you like this episode, you'll like the next.
Oh, the foreshadowing.
But yeah, and also people haunted by the ideas of family, of thinking, oh, well, I need children to feel valid. I need a partner for love. The most important relationship you'll ever have in your life is with yourself, because that's the person that you were born with and the person you'll die with, and the only person you can really trust on sticking around. I adore you, I respect you, and I do both of those in a quantity to know that my life experience is different to your life experience. So I will not prescribe you the route on how to achieve that, because it ignores everything unique and special about you. So it's not wax on, wax off. It is a lot of soul searching. It's a lot of doing. It's a lot of bumping your head on things to recognize what is good and bad. But it's a journey. We're all on it. And all we can do is be kind to each other to help each other navigate through that. Another side of the box. So I've got 4 topics. There's loads. It's not a box at all. It's a wide kaleidoscope of wonderment, as is the people we speak about to and those who listen to us. Well, let's actually talk about positive family. So yeah, I've had positive experiences with my family. I have a cluster of them. I don't mind doing this. So I'll let you in. I'll let you in onto experiences of my life. So my brother has a son, my nephew, funnily enough, who is gay. And my brother doesn't understand why he can't say things are gay. You know, like, oh, that's so gay. Mm-hmm. That thing that happened in 2004 predominantly, from my memory, where all the kids said things were gay. Because if you break it down, you're basically associating things that are negative with gay. So gay can't be viewed as a positive thing. So the people who are gay are inherently bad things. And so I had to break it down to him, because I was like, you really can't do that, because you're actually teaching your son that you don't value him. And I'm like, what's the diplomatic way of saying shit parenting? And also a gentle reminder to folk listening out there, don't be your child's first bully.
When you say the bad things are labeled as gay, right? And you explained that to your brother. I went to an all-boys school from the age of 11 until 14. And the worst possible insult you could possibly have in that school is to be labeled gay. Not a positive experience. Subsequently, stayed in the closet, didn't I? Because how dare I take that horrible attribute, gay, and make it my own. So yes, I very much appreciate, on a kind of third-party level, of what you did for your nephew. Explaining that to your brother is like, I hear that.
Yeah, and I will always explain that to anyone, because, let's be very honest, I find it highly amusing, because we've got a lot of friends who are gay. What a fabulous life. What a fabulous life. Pride parades, yeah, get involved. Oh, because, I've never heard the sentence, I went to that Pride festival they had, and it was rubbish, it was lame.
It was gay.
It was gay. I went to Pride, and it was amazing. I saw artists that I wouldn't have normally seen in concert playing music on the cheap, because they were celebrating diversity. It's an excuse for me to wear all the clothes I want to wear all the time.
Yeah.
But they're my party clothes during the day. It's also an excuse to have, I don't know, a beverage in the middle of the day if you want to push the boat out and really get into the party spirit. So, yeah, it's funny how something that is used to shame people into closets and shame people from being themselves turns out to be something that's actually all right. That's actually quite nice. It's not been supported for so long. I just think it's the fulfilling of the promise that society made itself when we stopped discriminating against people like that. And I say it as if, the war has been won, but it's still being fought constantly and daily by some people. And I hope that you know that every day will not be like today, and that it does get better, because you were never alone. And I hope my voice can be something in the void that helps you feel that.
Especially if you're fighting that war within your own family.
Absolutely. Especially if you're having to fight against the troops that should be on your side.
Exactly.
Because it can often feel a bit Order 66. Yeah, it's another sci-fi metaphor, but I think there's enough general knowledge for what Order 66 was. So, kill the Jedi. And it always... I might come across as soppy, but you know what? I'm not going to let it stop me, because my emotions are actually my power. When you see the look of horror on the Jedi's face as the people that they've spent maybe years with, the people that they've saved the lives of, simply turn, look at them and pull the trigger. It's almost that feeling of being isolated from your family, for choosing to love someone, choosing to maybe dress differently, act differently, be called a different name. Things that you can't control because that's what your heart tells you is right. And seeing those people who are supposed to be your backup, those people who have been through everything with you, just turn the gun on you, is harrowing. And I promised you a box, and I think I'd given you a triangle, but good enough, because I don't want to bore people.
We've got 3 sides so far, yes.
Yeah, I think it's nice. There is a small thing about escaping family that we did want to cover, and I shall do so in a very nutshell way. If you are bringing home bad choices, or you're bringing back choices that are not approved of by your family, just to be very clear, I'm not conflating the two. A bad choice in the eyes of your family is not necessarily a bad choice. It is simply a choice they disagree with. You do not meet their standards. You do not meet their expectations. Sometimes to people, not meeting their expectations of what you could be and who you are can be the worst crime. But if you're in that situation and the proverbial crap is hitting the fan, there are a number of things that can be done before the change happens if you have the luxury of controlling when that information is released. There are things like keeping a black box that has all your personal information in it, that has money to escape, maybe a spare mobile phone if you have that luxury, maybe some money if you have that luxury, so that when you drop the bomb, and the bomb is actually just who you are inside, that you can get out quickly to avoid any negative repercussions. And I'm talking negative repercussions in terms of violence, as well as emotional damage, or a number of horrible things depending on your situation, which I can't see, but I wish you the best in.
If you find yourself in such a situation and need more help, in the United Kingdom, you can call 116 123. That is free to anyone. It is 116 123. You can also text SHOUT to 85258. That is SHOUT to 85258. In the United States, you can call 516 612 3922, which is free to anyone in the US. It's 516 612 3922. You can also text LEV to 741 741. That is LEV to 741 741. You can also Google Crisis Helpline, and you can find local resources in your area that can help you with your specific situation. If you do need help, please get it and be safe.
The prevailing things about family is the love and the energy that they can give each other, the conditions they can give each other to grow. When you make the choice about being in the family that you were made in, or being in the family that you have found, that is your bond. That becomes interwoven through all of the emotions that you share with those people. The love, the joy, the songs, the dancing, the sci-fi, the games, activities, walks, art, hugs. These things weave us together and we affirm each other, because that's what family does. It makes you stronger, and it proves to you that you are stronger when you're part of a collective. And contrariwise to all of the people listening to this who think that I'm selling sunshine and that I'm actually talking crap, I want to say that you owe nothing to anyone. And if you have only found bad experiences when somebody has said family, then I wish you the strength to be on your own. And I hope that it brings you unending joy, because that's what you deserved in the first place, instead of a shit ton of nasty experiences. I don't live in a fantasy where everybody has the same opportunities I do. It would be ignorant of me to do so. So I can only, in lieu of that experience, wish those going through those negative times the best outcomes in solidarity. But it might inform those who are in the halfway between, I know what a good family is, but I don't have one, and chosen family, I need to find these people. Be what you needed in that time. I find that a lot of groups that I'm part of, I am sometimes that which I needed to be when I was younger. So when I was afraid or not confident, when nobody was telling me what I was positive, I am that voice now that says, you look cool today. Well done. I like your hair. I love your vibe. It's brilliant. And I affirm, where I see unconfidence, I affirm. Because you don't need to go through harrowing events to be lovely. And you could get to where I am now quicker with encouragement. And that's what we could all be focusing on as humans, making sure that the next generation of them turn out nicer. If you need a reason to go back to your families, there are some very rare blood types, and they might have the same blood type as you. Also, you're less likely to have organs rejected. So bear that in mind, because of, the same tissue types. So if you need a reason, that's your reason. But ultimately, if you have a family that has turned against you, then it's time to turn away. And it can be difficult. And I need you to do it with support, because it takes an enormous amount of strength.
On the other hand, family can be a source of strength.
Indeed, it can be a safety.
Yeah.
It can give you safety. It can give you all sorts of positive things. It can inspire you. It can give you instruction. It can give you the benefit and wisdom. If you're lucky, it can give you a load of money through inheritance. But ultimately, it can set you up and it can teach you things. And one of the gifts from my family is it taught me how to love. One of the things that I gave myself and what I learned from chosen family is how to apply that love. How to use it in words, how to make other people feel loved. And that's maybe one of the secrets of life, is that your family will give you so many raw materials. Your chosen family will teach you how to use those, refine those raw materials, and craft them into tools.
What kind of family are you looking for today? What are you looking for in your family that you want to build today?
What do I want to build in my family?
Yes.
Those who I call family?
Yes.
Oh, resilience, affirmation. What do I want to build in my family? Strength. The power to say, help me. For people to be receptive to the help that I want to give. Or to tell me what help I can give. What do I want in my ideal family? For the people I'm lucky enough to know. For those people who have resonated with my energy, for those who I call kin, for those I call frequently and remind them that I love them, because I tell my friends I love them, because they need to hear it, because we all need to hear I love you. It just sounds just so darn neat.
Feels damn good too.
I need my family to feel loved and find a strength within themselves. What I would like to do is just give whatever I can in terms of the internal workings of myself that make me give that extra 10% when the 100% is done. To have that extra spoon, because you are able to tap into the love that you've always known, that you've seen from other people, that has been given to you as a gift, to tap in and share it, and actually to help other people grow love within themselves. All the negative things that they have faced in their lives are just sharpening them, and that you were never unloved, that you were never ugly, that you were never all of these expectations that you never filled for the people who set them for you, and that none of that matters because you are where you are doing the thing you need to be doing. And I love you the way you are doing what you're doing. And if I can help you grow, I will, because that's what I do for my family. I try and make sure they're safe, because knowing that they're safe makes me happy. And how can I do that? By showing them love. My love makes people feel safe. Their safety makes me feel happy. That happiness feeds the love that I can give to others. And so it goes in a triangle and builds and builds. And that's what I want for my family. Good question.
You've been listening to the I'm Glad You Exist. If I can, so can you podcast. If you want more from us, you can find us on all the usual social medias. Like, subscribe, follow us, which is the best thing you can do to help us continue making this podcast. And please, never ever forget, you are loved.